Hello, welcome to the Vomit Podcast, an extension of the Vomit series of podcasts. As always, I'm your host, Mac Taylor. Happy Star Wars Day, guys. Didn't really get to watch a lot of Star Wars stuff today as much as I wanted to because of my scheduling right now, which is a little sad for me. But hey, sometimes we get what we want, sometimes we don't. But at least I did get to watch some Big Brother Canada 9 today and got to discuss it with you. So bonus. So we only have, after we discuss this episode, which, forewarning, there's not a whole lot to talk about in this episode. It's more of like a celebration of the Canada 9 than it is actually a whole lot of content about the game. So probably not going to be a super long podcast with this, which is fine. But, Wednesday, Thursday, we have the going down to the final three and then the finale. So we're probably gonna have pretty lengthy podcasts there. So it's good we kind of get a little bit of a breather before we head into the home stretch. Only 2 more episodes after today. So we're almost done. And I have enjoyed this season a lot. And I'm a little sad to see it go, but I'm also ready to have a little bit more time on my hands. So, give and take. So we start out, Tara thrilled to be in Beth's place. Beth was in the fake Final Four. Tara's in the real Final Four, and went from someone who probably had 0 chance of winning to someone who has maybe a chance of winning. I don't think she will, but she has a chance. And Ty's hoping that Bray's still on his side because they've made that final 2 deal, but Beth did try to throw a wrench in it, but I really wouldn't worry about Beth's impact on the game. It wasn't really huge after Jed left. And Bray's feeling like he's got this thing in the bag. He feels like he's going to take Ty to the end and beat him. And I don't know if he will. The jury is not super high on Ty, but they're also not really super high on Braden either. If Austin was in the jury, Bray would probably have a better chance. But because most of the jury doesn't really see a whole lot in Braden's game, I don't know if he wins. So even against Ty, I think Ty might squeak out a victory there, which I'm totally fine with. But Bray really thinks he's got it all on lockdown, and I think he really needs to rethink that. And Keith also knows he's the target, and kind of is a little low. Like, oh man, they're totally gonna take me out. I'm like, Keith, that's kind of the problem with Keith. Either he's really cocky or he's really like low. He needs to find that like happy medium, man. You got to have confidence, but you got to be able to get in there and stick and move because not everything's going to go your way, especially in the Big Brother house. And Keith has had a pretty good amount of luck. He almost got backdoored, but was able to avoid it. And, has managed to be, really the front runner here. If Keith, all he has to do is get to the end. I know it's easier said than done. But all he has to do is get to the end, and he pretty much will win against any of these people. But he does have to get there. And you either got to win that Final Four veto, have the person voting like you, and then probably he's going to have to win that final HOH. So Keith's got a lot of work to do, but if he gets there, it's a done deal. And so we get the buzzer beater HOH. So it's basically like we talked about last time. They show you like players in the veto comp. You have to figure out what veto comp it is and who went home. So basically you're answering with who was evicted when that veto competition happened. And Ty knows he needs to stay off the block. He needs to win this thing because a big part of his resume in getting into the end is saying, I never touched the block in this crazy season where everyone was so back and forth. I never touched the block. That's huge. And that's a big resume point to add to his things. And if he doesn't have that in the end, there could be, he could maybe lose because he doesn't have that. That could be the tipping point that gets him that win, that just gives that extra little sway with the jury that he needs to have in the end. Because right now it's a Ty's on the fence. He could win or he couldn't win. And that could be the move. That could be the thing that really sparkles his resume to getting the win. And this whole comp is pretty back and forth. Actually, we have a 2-2-2 tie here. Obviously Bray didn't play. So, each person, Tara, Keith, and Ty got 2 points, and the tiebreaker is in Ty's favor. So Ty is HOH, which is huge for him. And, means he goes to the final 3. And as long as he can win the final 3, HOH, he won't have touched the block. But even if he does not win the final 3 HOH, but does get taken in the end, like say Bray wins it, it's like Derek Levast. Like he didn't touch the block until it was like impossible for him not to touch the block. It's still a pretty good resume point. So, he's definitely guaranteed himself a talking point for jury questioning, which is great on him for doing that. But obviously Tara and Kiefer know Tara knows like I've been put up a bunch. It's pretty much standard that I'm going on the block here. Keith knows like he's probably going to take a shot at me. I'm also probably going up because this is not the time where you don't put up your targets. There's only 3 potential people to put up, and whoever wins, but we all know Final Four, it all comes down to that veto. Whoever wins that veto has all the power to say who goes home. It's huge and it's necessary. So Ty says his target is Keith, which it should be. Keith's made the most moves and done the most things and made the most friends. Keith should be very on the brain to take out. Tara has already been evicted. Not a whole lot of people besides Tina liked Tara. And even Tina said, which they don't know this, but Tina said she probably won't vote for Tara unless she played the better game. So, taking Tara is not a bad idea. And Bray didn't start playing till midway, and not a lot of people are super impressed with him. Keith's the guy that's going to win this game if you don't take him out. So yes, Ty is for the first time all season, someone has had a target that makes total sense besides Kiefer. So Keith does try to offer Ty final 2, which is a death sentence for Ty really. But, because he's like, hey, Tara and Bray, they may if I'm gone, you're the next big target, which is a valid argument. Keith made the only real argument he can to get Ty's favor, but at this point, his target's just too big not to take a shot at him. So Ty, no matter what, stays locked on Keith. Gonna go after him. So we get the BBCAN awards. They all get costumes. Ty's got this cosmic get up going on. It's pretty nice. Bray's got the butterfly suit. Tara's got this big poofy dress that has the trick shot hat, because that veto she won, that was really cool. And Keith's got that's because he has a hummingbird tattoo, so he has a hummingbird style thing with these really nice light up shoes. I did like his shoes a lot. So they're all decked out. They get in the ball pit and have on the video screen the jury basically telling them the categories and who won the categories. So for the most discombobulated debate was between the reindeer thing where Ty and Jed for some reason thought reindeers didn't exist, and the chicken and the egg conversation they had in the kitchen, and the reindeer talk wins, which I think is the most strange conversation they ever had. And even Ty's they don't exist, and Keith's yes they do, and then Rose oh by the way they do exist, and Ty goes how does he know? And I'm probably because it's a common known fact, Ty, reindeer are a thing. And maybe Jed's in the jury yeah bro, how do you know? It's goofy. It's a goofy. It's a fun, but this whole segment is just, it's just people having fun, right? So the favorite face off, the biggest fight was Keith and Roe and Kyle with LaToya, or Tara getting pissed off about the ball pit blitz comp and calling everybody cowards. They gave it to Tara here, but the Keith one was uncomfortable, but it was probably one of them. If I'm going to think about altercations this season, I would have thought about that one. And also, why was the Vic versus the rest of the house one not part of that? Because I think when Vic and Tara and Tina were going at it in the backyard, I think that was probably bigger than the Tara thing. I really don't think the Tara fight is going to be a thing people remember. It's the most fresh in people's minds. But even I was when I was thinking, when they were saying the category, I'm Vic and the Keith thing. That's the 2 fights I think would be worth mentioning. So again, I don't know why the Vic one wasn't a part of it. And I think that one should have been the one, because the Keith one was very uncomfortable. While as the Vic one, I actually did enjoy watching, where she's I wasn't in rooms talking to myself, Tara. That one should have been on there. That was the best one. Then they have the best dance moves, which is they had the HOH ones, which I think Beth should have had her own category because she was the worst dancer. And then Vic, when they all got drunk, and Vic obviously won this. And I don't know, maybe they didn't add Vic to the last one because they want to give Vic all the awards, but she was great television. So, I don't know why they just didn't give it to her. But yeah, Vic drunk dancing. That was a fun spectacle. Everybody was wasted, and she did some moves. And then the most entertaining mission, they had it between the bingo thing, where Keith sat in the ice cream, or it was like between the bingo and something else. But like I really think the spaghetti of the hot peppers. But I think the trash in the kitchen with spaghetti, like that was my favorite mission. Again, why was that not included? Where the have-nots had to completely or the haves had to completely destroy the kitchen, the have-nots cleaned and got the dinner or whatever. But like that was so, like when Kiefer's like, "Are you kidding me?" Like when he came downstairs, like, is that pasta sauce all over the thing? And Beth being like, "Whoops," and like spilling the sauce everywhere. And uh that was like that was a fun segment. I don't know why that wasn't a part of it, because like I said, that was probably my favorite mission they had. Like the hot pepper one, the only funny part about that whole thing was Ty with the ice in his lips in the diary room. That was like the only really funny part there. And the bingo thing, yes, the Kiefer sitting ice cream thing was fun. The backwards alphabet with Beth was fun, but it really wasn't like better than the spaghetti incident in my head. So then we get this, the emotion of them. Like they show clips of them entering the house, laughing together, crying together. Because even though Big Brother is this, small game, it's not real life. You do have real life moments in there, and especially when you spend 3 months doing anything. I don't care what it is. You spend 3 months with people, you care in some semblance of a way, right? You don't just not give a shit. So, it's there, they bonded in smaller and bigger ways. So of course they're going to feel a certain way about seeing it all, because it doesn't feel real until you see it on the screen. So Ty takes Bray to Wendy's, gets to see his mom, which is great stuff. Good for Ty, getting to see his mom and can have that nice. It's always a good wholesome moment to see them see their families, because even the most villainous of villains, that they all have people back home they care about. So, it's nice. And then Tara basically talks to Bray to see if like they could maybe, if Bray would be up to turn on Ty and they could take each other to the final two, which really should be Tara and Bray's pick. Like take Keith out now and then take Ty out at 3. That's what to have the best chance of winning. If I was them, that's what I would be thinking. But I think Bray's going to take Ty. I don't think he's going to stray from that plan. But it's good on Tara, though, to be trying now, not waiting until the 3, like starting to plant those seeds here at 4. That way, when we get to 3, where we've already built that foundation and we can just, further that discussion. I'm glad she did, consider that already. Good on Tara for actually try and have a strong end game here. But Bray, like I said, he's falling for Ty emotionally, and I don't see him not taking Ty to the end, even if he thinks Ty will win. So we see that Keith's also feeling all the feels, talking about Heidi Guai, talking about representation and being a boy from the res. And that again, unlike his Keith defeated moments, like that he's saying, like she's trying to get that confidence up. He's like, I gotta do this. This is for me and my people. Like, I'm going to win this game. I just got to get there. And I'm like, there we go, Kiefer. That's the medium I was talking about. That's the fire I want to see, man. Like, get that fire, go after that veto and just get shit done. That's what I like to see. So Ty nominates Keith and Tara, and pretty straightforward that Keith needs to win. And Ty even says, you both are great players. That's why you're sitting on the block. Like, there's no other options. Like, the time is now. You have the veto, play for it, meeting adjourned. And that's about the best speech he could have. And, and that's what it's going to come down to. It's time to fight for that veto. Obviously, I would like to see Keith stay. I think he'd be a great winner, even though this season has been back and forth on craziness. And he was my winner pick. But either way, I at least made 4. It's better than I've done in a while. Keith, Ty, Tara, Bray. Like, I think that it's a decent final 4, and I'd be fine with any of them winning. So that's going to end this edition of the podcast. If you would like, the like button and the subscribe button right down there below for you. But if not, totally cool. Enjoy doing this for you guys. Stay safe. Most importantly, guys, stay nerdy.